G'day guys and welcome to the stream. We are here on CappingTV. I'm Devmarta and joining me for today is Skye. How you going, Skye?
I'm going absolutely great, Dev. We've got a pretty ripper semi-final matchup here for us today, and the winner of this actually qualifies for the Zowie eXTREMESLAND tournament at MEO. So 4 teams are going to that. The winner of this will guarantee a spot there, and then the further matches will obviously guarantee seeds.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Melbourne Esports Open, this is an inaugural event here. It's going to be held in Melbourne. It's a really big deal for esports as a whole, and for Counter-Strike, of course. It's going to be fantastic. And one of these 2 teams is going to make it there. Order versus Legacy. It's going to be a really interesting matchup because, I mean, previously, this has been a very one-sided contestation here between these 2 teams. I mean, Order, in many people's eyes, the stronger team, and just based off head-to-head results, it does seem to favor that opinion.
It does, doesn't it, Dev? Looking at HLTV, you can see the past 10 wins have all gone in favour of Order. There's been a few close ones and one overtime, but for the most part, they seem to be quite the dominant team here. Obviously, I believe last night they versed Avant, I want to say.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really up in the air as who's going to take this one, because every time these guys do come up against each other, it just gets even more intense, because Legacy, having lost so many times, there's a point where you guys really have to say, all right, come on, step it up. We need to take a win. We've taken them to 20-22 before in an overtime on Cash. And I mean, you can't just leave it at that. You need to take it all the way. Even if Legacy can get to overtime, that would be a good thing. But here in this best of 3 series, Order really want to make this theirs, and Legacy really want to create an upset.
Absolutely. I do want to correct myself before. Order actually beat Dynasty 2-0, and it was Legacy who actually beat Avant 2-0. So both 2-0s here for these teams coming into, as I said, this semi-final matchup. The teams are getting ready here. But yeah, again, I think it's pretty much undisputable that coming into this best of 3 series, it has to be favoured in Orders. It is going to be favoured for Order.
So we're going to be heading on to the round pretty soon. Guys just setting up at the moment, and as we head in, we're going to be just doing a knife round for sides. What are you expecting in the later rounds here? I mean, coming in forward on this map, do you feel like it's favored to one particular side? I mean, here on Cash, like I said earlier, that was one that just got very, very close last time these guys played it. I mean, this is Legacy's map pick as well, and with them starting on CT. And how do you think this? They're on T. How do you think this is going to pan out?
It's pretty difficult to say, as these teams, although they have versed each other before, there have been a few close ones. So I feel like this pistol round really is, as I'm sure many avid CS:GO fans are aware, the pistol round is going to sort of give that team that early advantage, and sometimes we see that advantage completely thrown away by a nice force buy. But whoever wins this pistol, I feel like, is going to have that early advantage.
Just a little bit of utility as well brought out from Legacy on Lonsdale. Stun and a smoke. I'll be interested to see if there's a specific choice of use for that, or if it's just general, hoping to cover it in for the plant. And a decoy picked up by Sicko, not really sure what's going on there.
Indeed, and you can see how slow Legacy are playing at the moment. They haven't made too much progress. They are going to start to sort of rally over towards this B site. They've got 4 players over here. Out goes the smoke grenade. Hats is going to be that main CT defender. What can he do?
Creeping around the other side. Ooh, Imagine actually finds that opening kill, and 4 frags going the way of Order. Not looking so good for Legacy at the moment. Blitz, the last one alive. What really can he do at this stage? Nothing, it turns out. And, well, Order, a flawless round. Beautiful stuff.
Indeed, and already our predictions showing to be true, Dev. A 3K for Imagine and a 2K for Hats in the first round. Order already showing their dominance there, and you could see how scared Legacy seemed to be. They used a lot of their time really trying to find that pick. And towards the last 40-30 seconds, as we said, they pushed towards that B site. They just couldn't manage to find an opening, and as you said, in the end, it was a flawless round for Order.
A full set of digs out for Legacy at the moment. Still going with the pistols. We've got SMGs across the board, mostly for Order. Nice M4 for Imagine. So, oh my god, yes! What happened there? Blitz has gone down already.
When you out dig the dig, when you don't have a dig, but you out dig the dig.
Oh, that's got to be nasty there. Legacy not looking so comfortable at the moment. He's tempted to try and execute onto this B side. You really need some serious backup, and that molly's just going to prevent him from pushing in for a little bit longer. And just look at the utility in the hands of Order at the moment. So much to utilize.
Something else I'd like to point out is we do see these MP5s in play as Hats there. Showcases that beautifully as he finds a kill. These are probably the newest addition to the game, and already seeing them in pro play, I think that just proves how good these weapons can be at medium to short range.
And they're just beautiful as well. I mean, I remember when I opened up the game for the first time after the patch and had that little advertisement there. I mean, yeah, it's so great to have such an iconic SMG into the game, especially that suppressed version. Everyone loves a little bit of swag with their SMGs. 3 versus 4 now. Legacy haven't made all that much progress, but Lonsdale still teasing the idea of going to this B side. He has that MP5 in hand now as well.
And again, it seems to be the same story here for Legacy, wasting so much time, and they haven't made really any sort of, I guess, controlling dominance of the map.
Oh, that was unfortunate for Lonsdale there. He gets pinched. He whiffs the shot as well. Stat finds one with the deagle, but it's not going to make so much difference there. Cleanup crew coming in from Alistair. Bit of assists there as well. So MP5s and the M4 doing quite a bit of work, as we've seen. And not looking so good for Legacy at the moment. No round wins on the board just yet. Spent a lot of money on those deagles last round too.
Indeed, that was a pretty costly investment that unfortunately did not go in the way of Legacy, and it was more of the same from them, to be completely honest with you. Now they're going to be forced onto these Glocks and P250s. They've got no utility. They're just going to start to rally towards this A site, see what they can possibly pull off. Liaz is going to find one. Beautiful stuff from him. Liaz finds another. Can he get the third? Imagine takes it from him, but nevertheless, what do you expect from a full eco with a couple P250s chucked in? They just push towards that A site. Order already, and Order takes them down.
It's not really a game just yet, is it, Skye? But now we're seeing some big boy guns coming out. 4 AKs on the side of Legacy. Is still really... No, okay, there you go. We got an AWP as well. So here's a full kit coming out. Double AWPs on the side of Order.
There's something very interesting to mention, Dev, is normally you'll see one AWP, but I guess as of recent, you do see those double AWPs coming out, I'd say more often than not. Hats here, just sitting over on this B site, holding them off. And if we take a look at the Legacy players, they seem to be rallying towards this B site, which they have on the first 2 rounds as well. Last round was more of a just, go for it, balls to the wall, and it didn't work out for them, unfortunately. But again, I hate to say it, but it's more of the same. And I'm not sure how confident I am here for Legacy, even with, as you said, these big boy guns. There's not much has been happening yet, has it?
They've lacked the teeth that's really been required to break through. I mean, Order playing on the defense, they can play passive, but it doesn't really matter because Hats gets his head taken off by a stat. Nice little job there. I mean, it's 1 pick on the board, but only a minute now to continue this execute. 1 man down, only 1 rifle left, and we've got the SMG for Liaz, but he's shown it can be very deadly.
Indeed, we saw that he got boosted up there and chucked a nade. Did a little bit of damage onto Sterling, not a whole heap, however. And again, they're still the T's still seem to be favouring this A bomb site. Out go the smokes, and they should start their push. Lonsdale's going to find one as well. So already this seems to be going in favour of the T's. We've got Liaz and Alistair starting to make their rotate. Imagine just holding them off. They might even go for a save here. It's hard to tell just yet. I guess maybe Alistair will try and get a pick. But yep, it does look like they are going to go for this save here, which isn't a terrible idea. 5v3, bomb down. You've got some pretty decent weapons in the M4, the AWP, and the MP5. And they are just going to go for this save. The question is, will the T's go for the hunt? And it doesn't seem like they're hunting too hard just yet. You can see they really want to make sure they get this round on the board. They don't want to throw it in any way, shape, or form, and that'll be round number 4 going over to Legacy.
A wise choice from both the Order players to get that save on the board. Alistair in particular doesn't have a lot of money, but he's got a lot invested into his utility and that AWP. And the side of Legacy, they really don't want to go for those risks. They're not too flush with cash after that 1 round when they do have that a little bit back in the game a bit, but it would have been just too much of a risk to lose any of those rifles.
So far, Legacy have been quite predictable with their plays. They've gone for that. They've gone for the A site 3 out of 4 times, I believe, and the one time they went for the A site, the one time they went for the A site was just Glock's P250 rush. We actually see Alistair here up on the boost, but Blitz deletes him. Unfortunate for him. Blitz just saw that coming from a mile away, and they're again going to get that first kill.
The cross being held here by Sicko with the AWP. He's likely to win any kind of contestation that comes out of this. He's tempted to just chuck a molly up onto the cross. Just holding these very tight angles, preventing any push through the middle of the map. And so far, 1 minute to go. What's the play for Legacy here?
They're going to start to storm towards this A site here. Hats again sitting here. He's been in this position multiple times over the past few rounds, and you can see again Sicko and Imagine behind him coming up from Ban, ready for that reinforcement. Bomb will go down, however, and that's 40 seconds. Will Order choose to go for the save? Lonsdale's going to find one, and I'd say it about that. They've lost another one as Blitz finds Leaz. Surely at this stage, Sicko and Hats are going to start to run away. They don't want to be risking that AWP. Again, we might see Hats there around the MP5 if you lose. It isn't a massive deal, but certainly that AWP you want to be holding on to. Sicko will find Blitz, as Blitz actually does go for the hunt this time around, but he'll punish him with that USPS.
Blitz found 2 frags, and he just wanted even more than that. Nice little cover here going from the last 2 Order players as they do just try to make sure they can secure these last 2 weapons. The money game not looking quite so good for them at the moment, and saving these 2 guns is really going to be helping out moving forward. I mean, the rest of the team can get themselves a bit of a buy, and with those rifles still on the board, it's going to just make that a little bit more solidified.
So now Legacy's starting to fight back here, and again they go for that A site. They seem to be favouring that site so heavily here, and the question is, will they use it to their advantage? Will we see them go for a fast push onto B? No, it doesn't look to be the case. Already 4 players over here at the A site.
Wonder what we're going to see from Order to counter this, now that they know that this is what Legacy has been favouring the whole time. But wow, that's a lot of damage from the nade. They're going to take it. Lonsdale's going to be very lit up going into any further fights. And that does manage to find one through the wall, though, so that's that.
Stat just completely deleting Hats through the door there as Squeaky. Very unfortunate for him. And again, 3 times in a row, that first kill goes in favour of Legacy.
I feel like maybe the Order players is getting a little bit overzealous at times, thinking, well, we know what they're doing. I'm just going to start pushing forwards. And it's at those times when they really start getting punished. Losing these first engagements does make the difference in the end game when the execute comes about from Legacy. They flood into the site, and Order have nothing to reply. But here we have Imagine starting the work. He finds one with the M4. Lonsdale's gone down.
You can see pushing up through the smoke there, helping his team out. We can see Stat almost gets taken down by the molly. He's going to get out in nick of time, however, but Hats there running through that smoke, doing a bit of a stewie, equalizing for his team. Imagine will find another. Sicko will find one. Sicko will find 2, and it's all up to Sterling here, the resident AWPer for Legacy. And with 20 seconds to go, I would not be surprised if we see him try and save this AWP.
Beautiful job from Order in that late round. Just very steadfast hold in the site. Sicko with 2 AWPing frags. It really made the difference there. And Sterling does find one onto Alistair. So punishment there for the player who only had an SMG that round. Interesting, Alistair's the one he's going for it. I guess he doesn't really care about saving. Nonetheless, we've got a decent buy for both teams here. So here we're having the real matches come out, the real rounds. Things going to get up. I'd be interested to see how this progresses from here. Legacy have demonstrated they can win these attacks, but the more the game goes down, I wonder, is Order just going to have more and more success in the hard holds?
Although Legacy did just win the 4th round, it wasn't cheap for them, and I'm sure that you and me can agree on that, Dev. They lost 3 players there, and again, we saw one of the players in the end with that SMG. Again, not too much to lose. Go for the kill. Couldn't quite find it. Again, Sicko, however, is going to find a kill. So for once, we are going to see Order actually get that opening kill, and will that have an effect on the round is the question. Again, we see one of Legacy's players here just outside of the A bomb site, just chilling. So Soju as well, and Sterling, I believe, also around this A site. They really don't seem to favour this B site too much at all.
And you can see by the way Order are playing that they've realized this, and they've rotated mostly towards the A side, just holding on. They still have some presence in B though, so they're not going to get baited in. Oh, Lonsdale. Once again, as you said, opening frag goes the way of Legacy. Not looking so good. I mean, and here, Order, they have one player lost now. They still have this split from B. I wonder, are we going to see the flank come out? Last time, Order won this just by holding steadfast inside of the A bomb site.
Molly there getting chucked down. Sicko here is probably going to be the first engagement. Imagine finds one, Sicko finds two, all up to Blitz and Sterling here. Sterling again with that AWP. Does he want to take the risk with only 25 seconds? We'll find out soon. We do see Blitz pushing from behind. Takes down Sicko. Will he catch Alistair off guard?
Ooh.
Nope, Alistair will take him down anyway. And Sterling's actually going to go for the plan here. He pulls it off. It's a 1v2, Dev.
2 versus 1 retake for Alistair and Liaz. They want this round on the board. Legacy can't be allowed to... Oh no! Sterling takes one down with the AWP now. These long-range engagements, these tight angles, they've got to go the way of Sterling here. Alistair has a kit in hand, so he doesn't have as much time pressure to worry about. The blind comes out, and a beautiful shot from Alistair to clean it up. He's happy about that one, isn't he? And he gets the defuse nice and safely.
That was a textbook play from Alistair, baiting out that AWP shot, chucking as much utility as he possibly could, and then literally jumping over the bullet of the AWP. And in the end, he's going to outgun Sterling at close range, and he's going to get that AWP for his teammate. Again, we see that double AWP being run by Order. They seem to really favor this strategy.
So once again, Order inside of the bomb site did manage to get a few picks as Legacy did start filing their way in there. Imagine, once again, managing to get a kill just above the smoke. Legacy did manage to bring it back, though, and this time it's just a rush, and 3 of them were down already, make that 4. Blitz, once again, the only man really having any meaningful impact. He gets 2, but doesn't really matter in the end. Sorry, gets 1, and doesn't really matter in the end of it. Order with 6 rounds on the board now.
Something that's really telling for me was at the start of that round, we saw Order bring 3 MP5s. That is amazing for an SMG. You very rarely see 3 of the same SMGs being brought. And I think that just shows the pure dominance of that weapon, how good it is right now. And I wouldn't necessarily call it overpowered, but it's certainly a very viable choice. And I don't necessarily blame our Legacy for not going to this B site, as it's ended the 2 times they have attempted it. Although they've been more eco rushes, it hasn't worked well. And already Soju, Stat and Sterling going down, all up to Blitz for the 2nd round in a row. He's got this deagle. What can he pull off? Nothing, as Alistair takes him down, and that will be the 7th round on the board for Order.
And you were discussing the weapon choices earlier, and I'm a bit dumbfounded as to why Legacy keep pushing these deagles. Typically, you'd see when you're a bit down and behind, that the CZ really came into favor for a while. We saw it so much, the very top level of competitive CS, so prevalent. You just find that one pick, grab a gun, and then work from there. If you're on an eco, you don't want to spend that much. The CZ, very powerful weapon, but the Eagle, it's very powerful as well, but it's just very high risk, high reward.
Indeed, Alistair finding one, and we can see Imagine and Liaz going for the boost here. Imagine going to manage to find his way up here. He's got, again, that MP5 in hand. Will he peek up and see Soju and Sterling on the rotate? Doesn't look to be the case here as Sterling going to make his way around. Soju as well, looking to maybe back out here. He's actually looking in that direction, and Lonsdale, finding one. Imagine with that MP5, takes them both down. Beautiful stuff from him. Stat and Lonsdale now in a 2v3. The health isn't in the best of states, but either is Imagine's. 1 minute on the clock. I hope that they go for this, as they've got plenty of time. They don't necessarily need to go for this save here. And Lonsdale finds one. Lonsdale's done so much for Legacy here. He's really been showing up. Alistair takes down Stat, however.
1 versus 2 for Lonsdale. He's done a lot of the work in this round. This is going to have to be an ace. 3 kills on the board so far, and you've got to feel, in that scenario, you are on fire. Lonsdale has to clean this up. 22 HP remaining. Imagine's just 1 shot away from his demise, and Alistair, he's not going to be able to tank many bullets either. But with this AWP in hand, the boost is going to come out. Alistair's going to be the one to peak this. 15 seconds on the board. Imagine creeping up very, very slowly.
This he's actually going to get the plant here. He's completely fooled the T's here. He's going to have plenty of time to do it. They've realized their mistake, and they're going to start to rotate here. Imagine only one bullet away from death, but with the AK, which I think he had the AWP at one stage, he's now swapped it out. Spots Imagine up in nest. He's playing this really, really well, actually. He's now going to back off here to a more passive position. He's going to chuck that flash out. Goes for the pre-fight, but Imagine takes him down, and Alistair will secure that defuse. Got to give it, though, props to Lonsdale. He played that really, really smartly.
And that was so doable for Lonsdale, but you really have to commend that effort. But Alistair and Imagine, they could not let that get by.
Indeed, we will actually see Legacy pausing the match for their tactical pause here, so not a necessarily bad play from them. They really want to try and figure out their issues, and taking a look at the scoreboard here, 13 kills for Imagine leading the way, and Lonsdale 6 kills for his team. Soju still on that donut, unfortunately. But yeah, again, just I have to commend Lonsdale in general. He has been a very, very solid player for Legacy.
And let's not forget poor Soju, 0 frags at the moment, but he's been got the 2 MVPs for the bomb plant, so gotta it's team play all round, right?
It's all about the strat, Dev.
It's all about the strat. Well, Lonsdale and Blitz really have been the key fraggers for Legacy. Lonsdale in particular, getting them where it really shouldn't be. On the flip side, Imagine just preventing those inside pushes, like I've been saying time and time again. When the execute's coming onto the bomb site, Imagine's always there to receive, and he always finds at least 1 kill, and that's really what makes the difference. And him and Alistair in a duo, just cleaning up that last round when Lonsdale was completely on fire. That was such an important round, and the fact that they got to do that without baiting each other too much, without actually losing a player in that 2 versus 1, that's also very commendable.
Indeed, the round now getting back underway. That tactical pause from Legacy now completed again. We see that double AWP being run by Alistair and Sicko. We see that Galley AR on Soju. So not full AKs and AWP for Legacy. They've still got that Galley, but it's not a terrible buy at that. And again, they're rallying towards this A bomb site. Whoa, very, very aggro play from Imagine and Hats, and they win it out. Beautiful stuff from them. Completely catching Legacy off guard there. And that is going to put a very big nail into their strategy.
And this is one thing I was a bit worried about. Legacy calling that tactical pause after Lonsdale's very, very impressive 3K. And now Lonsdale, the first one to be shut down. You've got to be feeling down after that. You find 3 kills. You lose a clutch, a very doable clutch. And then here you just shut down first up in this next up round.
Liaz there just jiggle peeking that for seconds on end, but he is going to get taken down in the end. Still a 1-man advantage here for Order, but Legacy, they've managed to make it a more even field, if you will. Blitz and Sterling quite close together as well, so they're really holding off this mid ground together. They've got 36 seconds. It's not a heap of time, but if they play it smartly, they could pull something off here, and they are going to start to rally towards this B bomb site here. Sterling up in the fence.
Total health, really not that disparity. I mean, look at Order. Imagine really lit up, and he's going to be 1 bullet away from his demise. Alistair gets blinded, holding the angle with the AWP. Blitz is going to check the angle, but where's Alistair gone? The plant might get down here from Legacy. 5 seconds on the clock. Got a plant down nice and safe. But now Order know exactly what the go is. First kill comes out. There's a trade here. And Sterling manages to win it. In a 2 versus 3, Legacy take that one.
Wow, amazing stuff from Sterling there. Now we're having a tech pause being called, so we do have some net issues, unfortunately, but let's just sort of review that round a little bit there. We saw that really dominant push from Hats and Sicko, I think it was, maybe Imagine. They found 2, and somehow Legacy still bring it back in the end with that really smart play over towards that B bomb site. They get the plant down, they equalize, bringing it to a 1v1, and then Sterling wins it out for 2k in that situation.
And with the AWP, no less.
Exactly.
I think most people would prefer an AK in a close quarter scenario like that, but Sterling does the job, and that's what we see. Some players just really do favour that AWP. Some people are much more comfortable with it than others. And that's Legacy's first round on the board in 6 rounds.
Indeed. So it's certainly good to see that they are bringing it back here. But for how long is the question, especially with unfortunate net issues on Blitz. Hopefully we'll have him back in the server ASAP. But again, Order still, even after that round, they still seem to be in control. Even just with that push, it shows how confident they are being able to push and just find that 2K out of nowhere. It's just insane stuff from them. And I don't think one round again, Sterling commending him, did find that 2K and won it for him. But again, we talk about this so much, Dev. You can't rely on I wouldn't call it lucky, but a really nice clutch. You can't rely on that every round.
No. And to be fair, he didn't win a straight-up gunfight in that last engagement. The Order player just wasn't looking towards him. So, I mean, it was good placement that won in the gunfight, not just the raw aim and that final clutch play. So, I don't know, take that as you will, but nonetheless, might I remind you, Legacy picked Cash here. And, well, we've seen in the past, Legacy in these head-to-head results, Legacy versus Order, Legacy have played well on Cash before. They've never won it in this matchup, but they've certainly had some strong overtimes. 22-20, they lost. The goal here has got to be to replicate that or do one up on it.
Indeed, we see Blitz here playing over towards this this B bomb site, so it's good to see they are sort of spreading their troops a little bit here, but they've still got, we've seen so many rounds before. Clearly, their favoured site is the A site. They've got 3 players over this side of the map at the moment. Got one inside of main, one over and about to be in Squeaky, one up on boost, and again, now we saw that one player at the start who was playing on that B site, now starting to rotate over. So again, they're going for this A site once again. Hats is going to find the first one, however, onto Lonsdale.
Imagine once again, just playing this site. He's been taking a bit of damage. A second molly goes out. The boost is going to allow Imagine another angle. He does love playing those top side angles. Through the wall, Stat finds one. Blitz as well, and Blitz a second one. Coming in for that flank, that's really what Legacy needed. They now have the numbers advantage, 4 versus 2. If Order want to maintain this dominant lead, they really need to be winning these situations. But no, it's not looking like that's even a possibility.
Surprising here that they're going to go for this save, although it is a 2v4. We do have 2 players in Stat and Soju who have been tagged up quite heavily. Alistair in a very interesting position here, and I'm pretty sure he's going to give anyone that walks through there a little bit of a fright.
Legacy just chilling out at the moment. They know that Order's going for the save. Now it's just a story of making sure there are no cheeky exchanges in the last few seconds of this round. We don't want any players off the board. Money is always important, and, well, Legacy need to keep that in mind, even though they are currently swinging in the cash.
Indeed, and actually looking at that cash, we can see the team EQ value seems to be favouring Order here. Again, we see Legacy. I'm going to presume, Dave, they're probably going to go for that A side again, aren't they? And that's exactly where they're spreading their troops. We've got one in mid, and again we see Blitz over on the B side again, just making sure that no aggressive pushes can come out of Order. And it is smart. You've got to imagine at this stage, pun intended, that they are going to start to expect for Legacy to push towards this A site. So it's smart to have someone over on that B site, because Order might go, well, if they're pushing this site, let's just push really early. It's smart to have someone there to disallow that, if you will. We actually see 2 pistols from Order in the Deegs and the 5.7, which you don't see too often. Normally you'll see that CZ, a gun that I personally despise because I can't get any kills with it, but the pros seem to love it.
I like the CZ. It's basically just an AK.
Whatever you
It's
reckon.
like an AK to me. Nonetheless, here, Order, they don't have the numbers at the moment, but Legacy haven't really finalized any kind of execute at the moment. Looks like it's going to be events play from Blitz. Just checking these angles one by one. We do see Bomb heading up towards A, however. Lonsdale going for an entry. 3 players about to go for the entry. Sterling here on the AWP playing safe. He finds that 1 kill. Only 2 players left for Order. Hats does find one onto Blitz, however. Now just the last 2 looking to retake here. Bomb down.
I'm going to go for it as well, which is interesting. I mean, pretty sure this AK Imagine's has been scavenged off a body, and I think Hats, the M4 was actually brought up for him, but as you can see, I don't think they're going to be going for it here. They're going to go for the save once again. So smart to save that AK and M4. I mean, I would like to see more of these situations where it's a 2v3. I'd like to see the CTs go for that post plan, as sometimes you'll get lucky and you might win it, but Order don't seem to want to take that chance here, and they will be saving once again. That's now going to be 8-5 in Order's favour still. So again, we're getting close to that halfway mark as well, Dev.
And once we do hit that halfway mark, we're going to have a see how Order play their offense, how they go on the T side. For the most part, I think it's safe to say Legacy have been struggling with their executes. Like you said, they've been favouring A pretty much exclusively, and yet 1 or 2 of their wins, of their only 5 wins, have been executing onto the B side. And they've been playing so well on top of that on the B side for the most part. The only time that they've been losing B is when they've been going for a flat-out rush. And I mean, come on, guys. You have to dedicate a little bit more patience and strategy than just a flat-out rush. So I'll be interested to see, do Legacy ever decide to switch it up, or are we going to be heading into the half without any real dedicated B push from Legacy?
Indeed, we once again see that Legacy player in Blitz over towards the B bomb site, just trying to catch out any players that might be rotating. And again, we see someone, I think that's Soju, being boosted up by Sterling. So again, they don't necessarily rush this site, but undisputably they seem to be going here pretty much every time. And yet Order still seem to be favouring the B site in player count. Although it's smart to, like, I don't necessarily want Order to put all their players on the A side. It's smart to maybe put an extra player over where they've been pushing. Sicko will find Blitz, and now that push has started. Hats here, taking a bit of damage. Imagine will find one, doesn't manage to find the second. Hats is going to be there to reply, finds one, gets taken down by Soju. 3v2, can Legacy pull this back? Alistair takes down Soju. It's all up to Sterling with this AWP. He's been in this position before, Devon. He's going to stick the plan out, but he gets taken down. And that's going to be Order winning their first round in about 3 rounds, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, round 14 goes the way of Order. And quite well for them, too. Legacy's... There you go, a bit of a celebration there for the anniversary of Counter-Strike. But, yeah, Order getting back on the horse now after Legacy had a bit of a spree for 3 rounds.
Again, this is now the last round of the half, so everyone's going to be buying everything that they possibly can before that money gets reset back to 800. And again, Dev, they're pushing towards this A site. We've got Hats here in this position where he's been many a time. We do have 2 players over in mid in Imagine and Sicko, so it is good to see that they are sort of favouring this side of the map. Did see a bit more, but again, if they cut these rotates off and Legacy push fast enough, they can easily just Molotov that rotate off.
And look at that.
And again, that's exactly what they're doing.
There's no Order player in sight. And 1 kill goes the way of Legacy. This could be some tiny bit of retention for Legacy if they do manage to take this round. They've got the first opening frag like they have so many times before. Bomb down now. 5 versus 4. Order just abandoned the objective and let Legacy take it from them. Now it's a retake scenario. A lot of stuff to work with for both teams. Imagine finds 1 kill. He's been the top fragger this game. How much more work can he do? Lonsdale's been a big player for Legacy as well. Just trading blows at the moment, but Blitz finishes off Hats. Liaz, though, trading onto Lonsdale. Blitz, another one onto Imagine. Blitz with 3 kills. And there you have it. Legacy do come out of the half with 6 rounds.
What a misplay from Order, just allowing Legacy to capitalize. Legacy sort of scouted the shout out a little bit. They're like, all right, guys, don't think it's too heavily contested. And then bang, out goes the utility. And just like that, Dev.
Wow.
Round.
I don't understand Order, the choice there. It looks like such a conscious choice to leave the objective. There were, like you were pointing out, there were 3 players from Order standing themselves over near the B site objective, which, as we've said time and time again, there's been almost no pushes from Legacy. And yet the 2 players who were holding onto the A site from Order, they decided to just abandon it just for a few seconds. And during those few seconds, we had about 3-4 players from Legacy managed to force themselves into the A side, get a pick. And from there, really, that was not looking good for Order.
It's not, is it, Dev? Alistair. I've actually pushed out onto this A site here, so good for them. And the bomb's going to go down. They're a man down, but they've got that post-plant positioning now, and hopefully that will assist them here and maybe bringing this round home. We'll have to find out.
Side contested. USP just trying to do what it can. Soju, he's been stepping it up. He didn't have a good first half. Stepping it up a little bit. Lonsdale going crazy, and there you go. CT win.
CT win. So Legacy really bringing it back here, Dev. Good to see from them. And again, just looking at the scoreboard, kills are pretty normal, what you'd expect. And now Legacy is going to have that advantage as they won that pistol round to possibly even it out here, 9-9. Now,
so what's going to be the play from Order here? They've got the disadvantage that they've had in rounds is slowly slipping away.
Exactly, and what Order choose to do here is going to be quite interesting. They actually have sort of half force bite up onto these P250s and flashbangs. It's not a full eco, so they're clearly hoping to do, at the very least, a little bit of economic damage to Legacy. Try and take down some of those SMGs, maybe even steal some for themselves. And now they're going to push on to this A site.
Oh, no.
It's an absolute bloodbath. They are going to find one into Soju, but is that really enough? Losing 1 SMG? Probably not. I can't imagine Order would be too excited about that, but nevertheless, at least they got one of them, Dev.
Wow. Well, what can we say? It was so heavily CT favored in the first half, and I thought that was just Order playing better than Legacy, but now Legacy on the CT are definitely establishing their dominance and closing the gap. And yeah, just gunfight after gunfight. Sicko does refrag onto Blitz after Alistair falls.
Soju playing aggressive in mid, but Sicko will take him down. Nice stuff from him. Lonsdale actually completely reading into Sicko's positioning. He will chuck a beautiful HE grenade, but Hats finds Sterling all up to Stats and Lonsdale here against 3 AKs. Although Hats is quite damaged and Stat and Lons do have full health and a decent chunk of utility. Now actually Lonsdale, they've both got their M4s, so Dev, I would love to see Stat and Lons go for this retake here. Imagine we'll plant the bomb here. Nice, I think it was a dink, like a wallbang dink there from, I think it was Imagine. No, it was Liaz, sorry, but Stats made his way deep into sight. Hats finds Stat, all up to Lonsdale. He'll get taken down by Hats again, and that's a decent recovery from Order.
Yeah, 3k from Hats, no less. Just great placement, great read in that last engagement. Really knowing how to play that situation. And like you said, it was a attempted retake from Legacy, but Order were ready for it, and they didn't even lose a player in the meantime. And we finally had a T round 1 in Order's half. They've got to keep up this momentum now if they can establish it. Looking very strong loadout here from Order. No Orcs to speak of. Just one in the hands of Sterling on the CT.
Indeed. And again, it seems like Order are favouring this this A side as well. So maybe we're just not up to date with the CS meta, Dev. Maybe this is the universal favoured site. But again, they still have that player laying over towards B, just like we saw Legacy do, to ensure that no cheeky rushes come out to try and get behind them. But again, we've got 2 people on the boost here, which is quite interesting, and Blitz is right below. He's going to sneak himself into some temporary cover.
Shots exchanged. Alistair wins the fight onto Lonsdale. Sicko! He gets that read and he finds Blitz down in the dumps. Another kill potentially going to come out here shortly. Order very comfortable. However, having lost a lot of HP on Alistair and Sicko, and Alistair then loses his life. Hats does get that refrag onto Soju. Hats is just going to be pushing down and through these vents. Only 2 players left for Legacy. Order in a great position to make this work for themselves. Now rotating on the B side. Stats playing right on the bomb. He finds one, but now he's got a lot more to contest with. Hats does get that refrag eventually.
Oh, Sterling, we've seen him do it before. He's going to open it up, however, with a kill onto Hats, but Sicko will take him down from behind, and that's 2 in a row for Order. Now, as you said before, they're really starting to gain that momentum.
Commendable effort, though, for Legacy. It was a 2 versus 4, and they managed to get down to a 1 versus 2.
Absolutely. Again, essentially a complete eco here for the T's. I mean, not the T's, the CTs. No utility, no pistols. They're just going to be saving it out in order to buy the next round.
Sterling going for a bit of a USP AWP style play just there. Locking down mid. Why not? Someone's got to do the job. Hopefully some economic damage can be done to Order. For Legacy, it's really one they need to be counting on in this round. Order even bringing out the AWP this time. Liaz isn't even going to give Soju the time of day. Takes off his head. Blitz playing in the A bomb site. He knows that this is where things are going to start getting pretty meaty. And look at that. 3 kills going the way of Order. Stat's the last man left. And Sicko, he's hungry for this kill. Stat needs to do some kind of damage because Legacy haven't done anything so far to take down Order. Liaz, a little bit of damage on the board, but I mean, it's a fair trade for the 2 kills he's found so far.
Start playing this somewhat smart. He's just hiding here in mid. Again, obviously he doesn't have anything to save. But what he's trying to do is hope that these T's get pushed out and possibly find them as the bomb blows up. Will he be able to do so is the question. Oh, Hats potatoes a little bit onto him, but he'll find him in the end. And as you said, Dev, no economic damage being dealt whatsoever for Legacy.
There was nothing really to gain from Order for chasing that frag, but it didn't really matter because, well, for the Legacy play, the last one standing, it would have been anything that he could do. Any player he could have taken out would have been just something to help out. Whereas Order, they take out the last remaining Legacy player, it means nothing. Like you said, it was full eco.
And look how fast they're going.
And just like that, Order have decided that they're going to try a B rush, but they're doing it big boy style. They've got the full loadout. They're just pre-firing through these penetrable walls, seeing if they can get any lucky shots down on the rotations. Hats is going to go for the plant. First kill going the way of the T's.
It's a full save pretty much for the CTs. They've all rotated to the other side of the map. They've said, all right, boys, just run. We'll try and get them the next round. But this is sort of that variation that we didn't really see in Legacy's playstyle. The ability to go for that rush with, as you said, the big boy guns, to go for that B site on varied occasions. And they did 2 times, but let's be real, they were just going for a quick rush. They just wanted to die, get it over, get on to the next round. They only had pistols, pretty much a full eco. But this time around, Order, again, as I said, really showing variation. And that's going to be their 13th round on the board.
Well, like you said, Order, just much more mature style of push onto the B site there. Legacy didn't really have anything to say about it. And of course, Legacy having chosen that round to buy, maybe not the best decision coming up. They just weren't ready for that kind of push. And so, of course, the save needed to come out. The first CC of the game is going to be brought out from Stat. That's what I like to see.
We'll see if it really is that AK that you seem to think it is, Dev.
Come on, Stat, prove me right.
Stat, the only person on the pistol here, and you can see he doesn't even want to shoot this vent out. Ammo is so scarce on that CZ. You don't want to be wasting any bullets whatsoever. And again, we see Sicko and Alistair on that boost. Sicko's actually being tagged quite heavily by, I want to say, probably Sterling. Is it playing mid? Yep, it's Sterling. So he's done a decent job here. We can actually see one of the legacy players playing around A main here, trying to find something. Shows you not going to manage to find anything just yet.
Siko's taken a lot of damage so far. Playing that orb doesn't matter quite so much when he's an orber. Lonsdale finds the first kill of the round.
Alistair will actually spot Lonsdale in mid and he'll take him down. Nice stuff from him. Soju finds Imagine. Blitz finds Liaz. Siko with the reply. 2v3 here. Can Order pull this back as they are on the offense here? They need to get this bomb. They need to get it down. And Alistair's actually going to burn Soju alive. Beautiful shot from Alistair as he finds Stat. It's all up to Sterling. The numbers have been reversed. And wow, Sterling going to find Alistair. Looking behind it, Siko with the AWP shot. That is going to be demoralizing for Legacy.
Oh no.
That has got to be absolutely shocking for them.
And
they just lost the unlosable round. Or it wasn't really an unlosable round, but just Order. They played that so well.
That's got to be heartbreaking for Legacy. They've been down this entire game. They managed to scrape it back so very close to an 8-9. And then just from there, it's just all been downhill. Finally, they have a real buy coming out, but they just got completely duped in the last few rounds. Something really needs to come about for Legacy now.
You can see sometimes you'll see teams try and force it out for overtime, but that's not something that Legacy are going to try and do as Blitz takes down Alistair. Wow, nice shot from him as he's going to clip his head through the top of the boost and get the wall bang. But again, you can see Legacy don't want to be, taking their chances here. Now, the downside of this is if they lose this round, well, their money is completely screwed. So they're going to have to try and win a round off just literally pistols and maybe a bit of utility. Lonsdale here peeking mid, trying to be a bit cheeky. But if they win this round, well, they've got a better chance. Whereas if they saved, maybe went to try and force overtime, maybe they could continue to buy. But really, their hopes and dreams are lying on this round is what I'm trying to say, Dev.
This is a do-or-die situation for Legacy. And they have the numbers. They have an opening. They just need to capitalize. And it's really going to come down to how to order play this, because we've seen them play so well on this push in, and Hatch finds two kills. Right in the start, Soju and Sterling down. No players on the board, but there is a refrag there for Lonsdale. He's got an AWP in his hands now. 2 AWPs for Legacy.
Both Lonsdale and Siko are going to miss their respective AWP shots, and now the bomb is going down on this A site. Imagine will die in the background. It's a 2v3 here for Order. They don't necessarily need to win this round, but if they did, it would completely destroy Legacy's economy here. Will Siko hit the shot? He doesn't, unfortunately. Liaz here needs to be on the go, needs to be ready, but that molly's going to force him out. Siko finds one, Liaz finds two. Could this be the match point round? And that's exactly what's going to happen. Blitz will get taken down, and as you said, Legacy's economy not in the best place.
That should not have happened. Look, Legacy got themselves back in the game just for a moment, switching the numbers advantage into their favor from a 3 versus... They got themselves 1 man up, and then they didn't even manage to deal a single more frag before losing that round. And like you said now, absolute shambles at the moment. Anything that could be bought has been bought. No money on the board for Legacy. They have to win this round, or it's GG. Stat's going for the big plays. He finds one, but he gets immediately refragged. But he saw 3 players rushing into the B side. And there's a knife coming out from Liaz. What is happening? That's just BM at this stage. Lonsdale is about to get cleaned up. Soju does finally find a kill, though, before Lonsdale is finally eliminated. Hat's taken very low, but doesn't really matter at the moment. Numbers advantage, bomb down.
Indeed, the bomb is down, Dev, and all up to Sterling and Soju to try and win it out here. This is, as you said, the game-winning round. If Order win this, that's it, or at least 4 for this map. It's all up to Sterling, and Sterling will get taken down by Imagine, and that will be cash won by Order 16-8.
It's a lot more dominant than what we've seen in the past on Cash. Like I said earlier, the last time, well, not the last time these guys played Cash, it was a 22-20 overtime, and Order won it, but not without having to really, really fight for it. Nonetheless, here we have Order in top form. I mean, it's been quite some time since these two teams have clashed here on Cash, but Order have learned a few things since then, and it looks like, unfortunately for Legacy, they just haven't managed to pull through, haven't managed to show up like they really needed to.
Indeed, Dev. And next up, we are going to have Dust 2, which I believe is Order's map. Yep, so Legacy losing on Cache, which was their map. And now we're going to have Dust 2, which is Order's map, so it doesn't look great here for Legacy. They might be able to bring it back. We'll have to find out. And they need to do something pretty instrumental. From what I saw, from what I observed from Legacy, they sort of their strategies really relied on doing the same thing round after round. There wasn't much variation from what I saw, but who knows? That might just be on Cache. Maybe they'll change it up a little bit here on Dust 2.
Maybe a bit of dedication was the issue for Legacy. They would pick an idea. Let's go for a B rush this time. It's what we see as an opportunity, but they're not going for it completely. They didn't have the preparation that was required for it. They didn't have, like we said, there was one round that perfectly encapsulated how to do a B rush, and it was from Order, and it was full balls to the wall, full guns, full AKs. There was an AWP in there. There was a lot of utility to make it happen. But that's what we've been lacking from Legacy for the most part. Now, as we move on to Dust 2, no one gets to hear me say Cash anymore. I say it the un-Australian way. I feel a little bit bad, Skye. You're the one saying it like a good old Australian Cache. But I don't know why that doesn't come natural for me.
Yeah, Sponge taught me well. So yeah, nevertheless, as I said, Order's map, we will have Legacy starting off on the CT side here. So again, where I'd say their variation started to lack more was on that T side, where they could only really push that one side successfully. But starting on the CT side, it might be an angel in disguise for them.
It was so heavily CT sided that game for the most part. It looked like it for the start, I guess, but I think it was just Order sided. That's probably the best way to put it.
It certainly was.
Yeah, Legacy only copped 2 rounds when they were on the CT, so probably a bit unfair of me to say it was CT sided.
Oh well. Nevertheless, as I said, Dust 2. Hopefully, we'll get the players in the server soon. And we should talk. We didn't really talk too much about the vetoes, and maybe that's something to bring up now, as we had a bit of a quick start. So. I guess I'll read the vetoes out for you guys. So we had Legacy starting off with banning Nuke. Order then banned Overpass. Legacy then picked Cache, which we've just seen, and that was obviously an Order win. Order then picked Dust 2, which we're about to see, which is Legacy starting on the CT. Legacy then banned at Train. Order banned Mirage, and then the last map will be Inferno if it comes to that. And at this stage, Dev, I can't say that I'm expecting that to happen unless we see Legacy really show up here on Dust.
I've got to agree with you there, Skye. The map that really you felt should have been the Legacy's map on Cache, where we've seen that they've had a good head-to-head record with Order. That was where they just did not go nearly as well. I mean, they lost 2/3 of the round that were played in the whole game. It was 16-18. They didn't win half as many as their opponents. And here, Dust 2 being Order's pick, you've got to feel this is going to be, if anything, even more one-sided.
Indeed, but only time will tell, Dev. I'm honestly hoping for Legacy to really show up here, and hopefully we'll have a bit more of a closer map. It wasn't necessarily completely one-sided. We saw 8 rounds for Legacy, so it wasn't terrible. But hopefully we'll have a little bit closer, maybe even see overtime.
Well, I'd be interested to see how we're going to see this map play. I mean, Dust 2, well loved and also not very well loved. I've heard a lot of differing opinions. What people like Dust, but it's I don't know. I've seen it played so very much. I feel like everyone just knows this map has been played to death.
Indeed, and I believe at one stage it was taken out of that competitive pool before it was reworked, and obviously now back in the pool, and that's exactly why we're going to see it today. And again, maybe we should talk a little bit more about what exactly is on the line here. A trip to MEO, Dev. That's a lot. a lot for these teams, getting to compete at, as you said before, the inaugural MEO, as there's never been an MEO before, and it's really, I guess, competing to be on par with IEM Sydney.
Of course, and in this growing world of oceanic esports, it's not every day that we see a massive government-sponsored LAN event held in the stadium centre of one of the major cities in Australia, and that's exactly what the Melbourne Esports Open is. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been looking up the venues where MEO is going to be held, and it is insane. These are stadiums these teams will be playing in, and one of these guys are going to get there. Order, I believe they are homeboys from Melbourne. They've got to be wanting to represent themselves in their home city.
Indeed, we've now got every player in the server, so hopefully we'll be getting underway very soon. And again, we've just got, as you guys can imagine, I don't think you can see it, but we've got the warm-up warrior antics going on from both of these teams, and it's always good fun.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a little bit of spawn camping? Just sitting in the T-spawn. Everyone loves it.
They do, don't they, Dev? And
one thing we didn't really touch on so much, I mean, I talked about it briefly, but we didn't so much, I guess, speculate the analysis behind it, was the way that these teams have been ecoing. We've seen SMGs, we've seen, in fact, the MP5 being brought, not necessarily as just an eco, but in general, you know, hey, let's grab an MP5. And a lot of these teams are even using it in the warm-ups as well. But then, in contrast, we've also seen the legacy side really favor the Deagles in their pistol rounds. Not necessarily the specific pistol rounds, but you know, when they can't afford the rifles, they're not picking CZs. They're going for the Deagles. And I know in the past I've seen maybe one player from a team will grab a Deag in one of those eco rounds. Maybe you know your AWPing player will grab a Deag. Someone
your Nico.
Yeah, pretty much, right? You know, your hard carry. But no, for the most part, you know, Legacy have been favoring that across the board, and I don't know. I personally, as much as I love the Deagle, I love the Deagle as much as the next person, but I don't quite understand it, and I don't quite condone it. Now, what do you think is the best way to eco for these teams?
Honestly, it really just depends, and I've got to hope that if they are, as we saw before, going for those 5-man Deagles, that hopefully they're willing to take that risk, because the Deagle's quite a high power weapon, but you know they cost a chunky amount of cash. I think they cost $600 or $700, so it's not necessarily the cheapest pistol you can buy. In fact, it's the most expensive one, I believe. So, you know, when you're bringing that out, you have to be willing to take that economic risk. And I think from what we've seen, Legacy really haven't done a whole heap on those pistol rounds where they have full bought Deagles. It's been more of a burden to them from what we've seen.
I'd have to agree with that. Order just they seem to be the driving force in this matchup, and I'll be interested to see how the AWP plays do come out on this map. I feel like there's just so many long angles here on Dust 2 in comparison to, well, of course, Cage does have them as well, but I really feel like Dust's a little bit infamous for all these incredibly long angles you can generate, and of course, you know, abuse with those AWPs. We've seen a little bit of AWPing game come out, but I wouldn't say anything particularly insane or nutty. Maybe 1 or 2 shots, but it's really going to be coming out that we're going to see, I think, some really nasty AWP battles through mid, maybe through long. I'm keen for that.
I'm keen for it as well, and Sterling as well. I don't know a whole heap about CS:GO down to an analytical level, but I know Sterling at some stage did play for the Chiefs, which are quite a well-renowned team here in the OCE esports scene. So, yeah, he's now ended up on Legacy. So, again, I've got to imagine that he's a pretty decent AWPer and has shown his ability to AWP. It's quite high. He seems to be a pretty decent AWPer here. Again,
yeah, he's played pretty well, especially in the close-range engagements, where it's just when you expect the AWPs to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And as for, I'll be honest, I haven't really paid too much attention to who's AWPing for Order, but I know that when they have AWPed, they've generally brought out 2 AWPs, and I'm pretty sure Sicko is one of them.
But they bring out a mix, really. I think one of the things I'm liking about Order's playstyle is they're not just going for kind of a one-trick composition. They're mixing things up when they need to, and they're acknowledging that their players have that versatility to allow that to be possible. Like I pointed out earlier on Cash, there was rounds where we didn't see a single wall. We just saw all AKs or all M4s, and well, having that versatility is important.
Indeed. Hopefully we'll get underway soon, as these teams seem to be knifing it out. I don't think it's an actual knife round. I think they're
It's a brawl.
just having a bit of a brawl, getting their aim sensors tingling before they get into the match.
You know how much a knife round really trains your aim, Skye?
So much.
It's so important to have your aim on point if you're going for that knife round.
You can't lose the knife round, or it's over.
Well, I mean, with this Dust 2 rework, of course, a lot of the older teams, a lot of the older strategies, they've not necessarily as viable as they were once upon a time. A lot of the old pre-throws, I guess you could say, the preset smokes and flashes, not quite as viable as before, and people have had to work out some new ones. But the thing is, this map's been out for quite a long way now. It's entirely, people have generated the new ones, and people have figured them out. And we didn't quite see, a huge amount of these really long preset smokes or flashes or throwables on Cash, but I'd like to see some more here on Dust, and I think it's a great map for it.
Indeed, you can see Liaz is just sitting in the T-spawn, just waiting for them to come to him. I think he might be AFK. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's all part of his master plan.
I'm not sure if you guys can see the footage right now of the knife round, but
oh, they can. They can. So
all right, well, lucky you guys, because
some A-grade memes coming out.
Oh yeah, this is very intense right now. Some of these knives just look nasty. See some of the combat knives, they look all right. Yeah, that's a nice knife, and some of them just look disgusting. You would not want to see one. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see a masked fellow handing one of those in my street.
Yeah, indeed, and again, these players just jumping around, hippity-hoppiting around the map, having a good old time here. Yeah, it's quite exhilarating gameplay, if I must.
Yeah, I mean, Liaz looks like he's going for the push now. He's pretty lit, but he spotted him out. So there we go. This is getting serious now. I think this is really where we decide who gets to go to MEO. It's all in this knife round, and Blitz is just going to bait it out. He's going for the refrag. He wants his teammate nearby. I don't know, what more can you say about this knife round? This is probably the most intense Counter-Strike matchup ever witnessed. I'm so glad you guys are here to watch it with me. It's a bit of we're playing a bit of Tiggy at the moment. Liaz is just trying to run after the legacy players, but they're saying, oh, so long, see you later.
So long, suckers, is as they say. And again, Dave, if we look at the round timer, we might be here for another 55 minutes.
Oh, well, I'm sure the stream's very happy to hear that. Why is Liaz not just pushing them? Why did Legacy keep running away? Come on, guys, you got to duke it out. Who's the bigger man?
It's part of the strat, surely.
Oh no, Legacy! Come on, stop running. He's lit. You got 2 players. Just kill him. Oh god. Well, I don't know. I guess pathing and the mobility around the map always very important in Counter-Strike, and these guys are practicing that to the fullest.
They're just going in circles.
Alistair, a bit of a flirt. Why not? Good lad. Oh no! Oh no! It's getting a bit out of hand now, guys. Come on, turn down PG stream.
Oh, nope. They're back on their feet.
Poor Liaz, I think he just wants some friends, but Legacy not having any of it.
It's all part of the strat.
Yeah, I'm sure that the actual gameplay will probably be a little bit more active than this.
I would certainly hope so. Oh no! Why? Why do they have to do this? It's absolutely just demoralizing to have to watch these players go in circles. Oh no! They've got him. They've got him in a tricky situation. No, now Liaz is running. The tables have turned.
I'm really excited for MEO. I feel like most people are expecting it's the Order boys who are going to get there, just especially after that first map. But I mean, it'd be such a big thing for Legacy. Just imagine Legacy making it to Melbourne Esports Open instead of Order. Order, who, I mean, you were saying yesterday, most people would say, you know, a very comfortable top 3 team.
Yeah, indeed. Order really proven themselves on multiple occasions, and we'll see if this is going to be one of them. And I think we should note that just if Legacy or Order lose here, or let's just say whoever wins, obviously they go to MEO. But just because you lose, you actually still have that chance to go to MEO, as there is a loser bracket.
Oh yeah. And I mean, talking about playing at the Melbourne Esports Open, you're talking about playing in Margaret Court Arena. That is an arena, a sports arena in Melbourne with a capacity of 7,500 seats.
I thought CSGO wasn't a sport, Dev.
Well, Melbourne disagrees with you, Skye. So, I mean, it's fantastic that the Victorian government have been funding this event, helping to fund this event, sponsoring this event. Because these guys right now, you know, they're playing online, they're competing for this spot at this LAN event. But can you imagine getting up on stage and there are 7,500 people watching you in the event, in the venue?
It's pretty crazy stuff, isn't it, Dev?
It's amazing how far esports has come. And finally it goes down. Just like that. And well, cheers for finally making that happen, Liaz. I was a bit sick of it.
I think Liaz was a bit sick of it as well.
Looks like we're ready to get into it, potentially. Come on, it's got to happen, guys. We want to see Dust too.
Hey,
here we go, guys. All right, refresher. You guys may have missed map number 1 in this best of 3 series for the Zowie eXTREMESLAND 2018 qualifier. The winner of this best of 3 series gets a spot at the qualifier for the Zowie eXTREMESLAND 2018, which is going to be at the Melbourne Esports Open in the Margaret Court Arena. Currently, Order 1 map advantaged after winning cash to a 16-8. That was Legacy's map pick. Now, here we're on Order's turf, and it is Dust 2. Order's opportunity to send it home and take them to their hometown of Melbourne. Melbourne Esports Open.
Okay, they are pushing up long here. Sorry, beg your pardon. They are pushing up long here onto the A site. Hats is going to find the first one. We do have Hats and Liaz who have both been tagged quite substantially. However, Hats will find Sterling. Nice stuff from him. We can see Lonsdale starting to pressure from behind. He's going to get pinked, however. Imagine really pressuring him here. Hats is going to find his third.
Oh!
Imagine on the rotate. 3v2 here, but what will the CTs be able to do is the question on everyone's mind. Stat is on a single point of health, but he finds Alistair anyway. Hats will go in for the trade, and Hats has to want this ace, surely.
He's been on fire so far, and he gets it. Look like that. Oh my god, Hats. Well, I mean, it was a pistol round, but it was really just Hats round.
Hats is rolling in the dosh.
Yes, look at that. And, well, we just to see how the guys are gonna... Okay, once again, Deagles. What? Legacy. What's the play? 3 Deagles. 4 Deagles.
Stat's getting tagged as well by the SSG through mid. Yeah. It's not the best way to start the round.
Like I mentioned before, these long angles, no AWPs just yet, obviously, because the money's not quite there. But we do have a scout from Seiko. As you mentioned, he has been their sniper so far. And, well, Blitz, he's going to be sniping with the Deagle, or at least trying to. 2 players covering mid at the moment. A lot of pressure going down to the long side, just pushing up from pit. That's also where the bomb is for Order. Fairly shortly, Legacy are going to realize, and we're going to see a full rotate in all likelihood. But we do have still 1 Order player off-site.
Stat just trying to deal damage. Sterling is going to find one with that mini AK, as you said, Dev. Stat on site, being tagged quite heavy. Leaz deleting Lonsdale. Stat is going to try and stay undetected, but he's not going to manage to find Hats. He will connect one of the shots, however. Blitz and Sterling last alive, make that just Sterling. With the mini AK, he's not going to manage to get the second after he finds Leaz. So they are going to slightly damage Order's economy, but it's not going to be anything too significant.
Once again, Order are off to a good start. Winning the pistol and then following it up with another one. But like you said, you know, a little bit of damage for Legacy into the economy. But let's be real, it's not making all that much difference. Not really a full buy so far for Order, and fully go from Legacy. Wow, Legacy though, they're not really having much success here. Is Order just pulling them down, rushing into B. 3 kills so far. What can you take for Legacy right now? A flank's going to come out eventually, but, well, Imagine shuts it down.
Wow, you've got to imagine there that entry from Alistair with that MAC-10. He's got to be, again, getting a lot of cash from getting those kills. And now he is going to swap out. He's only on the galley by the looks of it.
I don't understand this. He's Alright, fair enough. Nonetheless, moving forward, there's he's got some big boy guns on the board now. A respectable buy coming out of Legacy. Decent amount of utility. Got the sniper out as well. Sterling did pretty well for it on cash. He's just holding the A doors at the moment. A little bit of smoke for coverage, but Legacy got to be cautious. Order not afraid to go for those rushes, and last time they did manage to catch Legacy with their pants down.
You can see here, Order starting to rally around the tunnels here and mid. They might even go up catwalk. 3 players in mid, however, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a B or A split here. The Molotov will be chucked out there by Lonsdale. Alistair is going to be the entry here. Will he be able to find one? And again, on that galley AR, he could have got the AK, but he got the galley instead. So very interesting buy from him, but he'll get deleted by Blitz. Nice stuff from him. A lot of the players of Order here have been tagged quite heavily. Leaz will find the first kill. Leaz will find the second kill, because why not? 3v3 here, health advantage. Really in favour of Legacy. One will go down, and that's going to now create a retake situation. Lonsdale goes for the pre-fire, but instead he's going to get pre-fired himself.
Not a lot of HP on the board for Order. Legacy in a decent position to go for this retake, and it looks like that's what they're going to be opting to do. Perfect timing for Soju just there. He finds one, he finds the second one. Soju really stepping it up, but imagine with 2 big kills. That's his 2 for the round. Can he find one more? Soju has to go for the defuse. He starts it. No, it's a fake. Imagine's reading it. Where's the peak going to come out? It's at doors. Imagine gets taken down. Soju with the 3k, but no time for the defuse. But he does deal a lot of damage. A 3k for the man. Gets that AWP. Beautiful stuff from Soju, even though Legacy didn't manage to take the round.
I think the real player there is Imagine managing to force that round out. Pretty much getting at the start. Again, we saw I think the first 2 kills went in favour of Legacy.
Yeah.
And Order's health was so depleted, yet they bring it back, and Imagine there with a nice, I'm going to call it a 1v3. He didn't get the last one, but he won the round. So we'll give it to him, Dev.
Diaz with the 2 on the entry, and Imagine with the 2 on the clutch. That's really all Order need for that round. Team damage coming out. Zico finds the first kill. 1 for Imagine now as well. Order looking very strong. Once again, executing onto the B side. They do really favour this. I would have said A lot more of the time I'd expect to see. Maybe I'm better touch there. Zico finds another one. Soju's not going to have the opportunity to frag out in this round. Lonsdale and Sterling, the last 2 alive. Lonsdale only a deagle to his name. Sterling still with the AWP, but what really can you do in this situation? We may be going to see a save in the spawn. Hats, what are you doing? How do you manage to find that onto Lonsdale? Sterling finds 1 bit of damage there into the eco of Order, but it's really going to make a difference at this stage. With 5 rounds on the board, Legacy just really need to start breaking in the wins.
Wow, they find him as well, so that's going to be that AWP down. So Legacy saving absolutely nothing here. It's not a good start. And I guess to quickly bring up, guys, if you guys were here in the program, me and Dave were talking a lot about MEO, the Melbourne Esports Open. And if you guys want to get your tickets, you can actually click the little MEO box down below They are selling quite fast, so getting quick, and you know, you can attend this, I'd say, this event that will make Australian esports history.
Absolutely. Melbourne Esports Open is going to be all over the main stadium district of Melbourne. Margaret Court Arena is where we're going to be seeing the Counter-Strike, as well as some fantastic other games. But nonetheless, once again, Order, really, they're just just jumping on straight in there. And it takes no time for them to get a plant down and force Legacy to attempt a retake, which so far, yet to be successful.
It's been like 3 rounds in a row, I want to say, that they've gone for this B site. So again, they're sort of, again, they're playing very consistent, and Legacy aren't quite catching on to it yet. But we'll see if they will in the coming rounds. Lonsdale's been tagged down to 2 HP. So if one single rogue bullet will take him down. Soju in mid going to try, possibly cut the rotate off. They actually are going to slightly hunt him. I think they know that he's quite lit. But Lonsdale will save the AWP in the end, and Soju will also save that M4, so it's a decent save for Legacy. But again, the 6 rounds up for Order is saving a few weapons really enough at this stage, Dev.
Well, just look at the money for Order. I mean, there's no time soon are they going to have a drought of the money. Legacy, on the other hand, like you said, a little bit of cash on the board, but they're 6 rounds down. I mean, you gotta start actually winning some, because, you know, it's not going to take much longer for Order to just take the W. Alistair finds the first kill. Once again, Order looking very strong. Most people, you reckon most people would say Dust 2 is a key-sided map?
It's honestly quite hard to say. I would have to imagine it's like closer to 50-50. That's really the goal for the devs with every map. They want to try and have them as evenly possible as make them as even as they possibly can.
Yeah, well, certainly not this T-sided by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Order are just really doing away with Legacy, just as Imagine does away with Stat. Imagine has really been playing out of his mind at the moment. In fact, all of Order just look top form, and once again, Sterling, the last one to go. He has that AWP in hand. He's been enjoying the pleasure of using that AWP so far. 1 kill in this round so far, but a lot more to go. If he does want to take those close range engagement, he has the CZ, but I think it's just going for a save. On the B side, just up in the window, just trying to hold. Might be going deep at the moment. Yeah, he's safe from this bomb. He just really can't lose this AWP. But it really doesn't matter. Money is not the issue right now.
Wow.
And what? How does that happen?
He got out AWP with an AK.
Oh no.
Just when things look like they couldn't get any worse for Legacy, they lose that AWP within seconds of the next round starting, unfortunately. But they are going to buy up to 2 AWPs anyway, so again, it would have been nice to not have to spend that for $4,750. But in the end, they are going to have that AWP on the board, or 2 of them actually anyway. So it's not terrible here for them, but it's still really going to damage their economy. And yeah, it's hard to say where exactly this is going. They're just so dominant. And what Legacy need to do is hard to say. They need to they really aren't winning their gunfights, are they, Dev?
No, it's just poor setups. I think across the board, Order are just pushing themselves in there and winning these fights, winning these team battles. It's not just 1v1s, it's entire team battles. And that's not just due to aim and game sense, that's placement and readiness. And just look at the stacks of utility that Order have brought with them. They've already been exhausting some of it, throwing some of the flashes and some of the smokes out a little bit. No, none of the smokes out just yet, but look, every player has a smoke to utilize.
Dude,
so much to work with.
Blitz peeking this tunnel quite aggressively, and this time it seems like the T's are actually favouring that A-bomb site. Now they're going to start to commence their push. Out goes the utility. Sterling on long, gets deleted by Hats and Alistair. Wow, Soju will get the trade, however, now bomb going down on Sicko. It is going to be planted for short, so it'll be interesting to see if the T's are going to go for more of that short control. 4v4 here, and will they go for the retake? I think Legacy need to go for that retake, and that's exactly what they seem to be doing. Imagine is actually behind everyone here, so he could creep up within the last seconds and possibly take them down. All 3 or the majority of Legacy are coming up from the CT spawn. They find 2 Hats, finds 1 Hats, finds 2. all up to Blitz, and he's going to start to run away here. Imagine actually was found in the meantime. That's the 8th round on the board for Order. 8 rounds up, nothing at all on the board for Legacy. Doesn't look good, does it, Dev?
No, and I mean, what can you say? What redeeming qualities can you say for Legacy at the moment? These guys haven't played Dust 2 in the head-to-head results on HLTV in any recent times, and the most dominant matchup that we've seen between these two teams has been on Crane, or just a couple of months ago, actually. So, a little while back, and that was a 16-9.
Stat. Getting tagged with the AWP through mid, and again, we see such a fast push onto B. No one is there. They just get the site for free. Completely free, and it was more of a force buy as well from Legacy with that AWP. Those more expensive pistols and the SMG, but it doesn't work out for them, does it, Dev?
So once again, Order no contestation as they enter the B side, the A stick for the B side. Pretty easy for them. Hats is going to find that kill as well, despite the good flash from Soju. Wasn't good to actually blind Hats, and Blitz and Sterling once again. Last two, Sterling only with the USP. Blitz does have this AWP, typically we'd see in the hands of Sterling, but well, what can you really do right now? So what? You find, 1 or 2 kills. Imagine taking out Sicko right now. He's got 12k in his pocket. What can you say? Like, you can't even do any damage to the utility at this point.
It's hard, isn't it, Devin? It is good at least that Blitz is going to save this AWP, and you could see Sterling was playing a little bit more aggressive with that USPS, as he didn't really have anything to lose, but in the end he will save out that MP9. And just look at Sicko's money, Dev, 14k.
And that's after buying up AWP and utility, and I apologize, my head-to-head results for earlier were a bit wrong. The actual most recent, most dominant match between these two teams was on cash. Other than the match just early said it went 16-8, there was a 16-6 2 months ago. It's nonetheless, Sterling. AWP is going to help him out a little bit, find 1 kill. And goodbye from Legacy, but so far even the goodbyes haven't really been able to find anything.
Indeed, and we actually do see the double AWP strat here being pulled out by Legacy. Alistair takes down Lonsdale, so we've got Blitz and Sterling with those AWPs. Sterling playing quite aggressively on short here, trying to catch someone off guard. Again, the T's are quite spread out at the moment, but they do seem to be favouring this A long position, and A seems to be where they're going to push, and that could be a very big mistake, as we've got 3 CTs over this side of the map. Stat might be rotating back, but even then, we've got a decent chunk of manpower.
One of the first times we're actually seeing Order dedicate to the A side. 3 players pushing long, as you said. 1 player looking to go mid-doors, potentially. There is still a Legacy player inside of B, though, because he's so aware that Order love pushing onto this B side, but Order still haven't revealed their hands on how they like to take A, assuming that they've prepared something for this. Wally's going to come out into sight, just preventing some of the more anchoring positions, and we do see the flankers coming out from one of the Legacy players. Entry frag into the site. The Order players come out on top with 2 for 1. 3 versus 2 now for Order with the bomb down. It's going to be a retake for Stat and Blitz. And Blitz taking a lot of damage. Stat finds 1 onto Liaz. And 1 for Blitz as well. Could this be the first round on the board for Legacy? This can't be thrown right now. 2 versus 1. Sicko with the AWP. He has to hold this, but where is the bomb? Has it been planted in such a way that it can be held from Pits?
Believe it can be, and even the CTs don't know where it is right now. Sicko finds 1. Oh, Stat thinks it's in the corner. It's not planted for there. He is going to get on the defuse, however. He's got the kit. He's going to get it.
And Sicko has got to be himself right now. That was an amazing job from both sides. The fact that Sicko managed to get 1 of those, even with the smoke down now, that was commendable. Great read, knowing exactly where to pre-fire. And just like that, Legacy do finally have 1 round on the board, 1-9 at the moment. Full buy back again, double AWPs for Legacy. Just the 1 in the hands of Sicko for Order. And wow, imagine pushing down short. He finds 1, finds the second. 2 quick headshots with the AK. And he's just going to push straight to the molly, but he gets punished by Soju. Good read, still to expect that despite the molly. Another one for Soju's going to come out onto Liaz as well. Only 2 players left for Legacy.
Soju trying to equalize here. He's got 2 kills, so again, he's done an alright job at it. But now these T's storming out onto this A site. Actually, there's only one of them here, so Alistair is the single member. They might choose to rotate to B. Alistair will get taken down by Blitz, making it a 2v2 here, and would not be surprised if we do see the T's attempt to go for that rotate, out go the smoke, so that is going to allow them to go for this rotate safely, but they actually haven't decided to do that. Said they're going to go the safer route right through tunnels. They're now going to get this plant down, and they will be put in a post-plant position. I have to imagine Order are going to have the advantage here.
AWP and AK versus AWP and AK. Molly is going to be preventing a push up via window, but Soju on the CT, he's been fairly lit. Legacy have a mountain to overcome at the moment. These 2 remaining players have got all the frags in this round, and they have to get all the rest to retake here. Sicko playing deep inside. Hat just on the bomb. He finds one onto Blitz. Sicko cleans it up. Beautiful stuff from Order. Looked like there was a potential for another Legacy round to come out, but no, Order just shut them down, and Legacy once again sent running.
Indeed. The 12th round here. Only a mere 4 rounds, 3 rounds actually, sorry. Or 4 rounds? I don't know, I can't count. But nevertheless, we are getting closer to that halfway point. And that's actually a nice HE that got landed there, but Imagine and Alistair don't even seem to care that much. And Lias as well will join in on the fun. Alistair's actually on a single point of health here. So literally a grenade hitting him will take him down. Can we see like a smoke grenade get chucked across the map and hit him?
We find the best way of finding the kill. There you go, Stat. What a flick there, and that pocket AK doing the job, taking down Imagine. Hats, though, does find a refrag onto Sterling, all up to Stat. He now has an AK to boot, not just the CZ. Hats is going to get this plant down, but like you mentioned before, a lot of damage done across the board with the Order players. Sicko's still nearly full HP, and Hats doesn't even need it to take down Stats coming down through CT. Once again, another round for Order. I feel like we're saying that every single time. Legacy, not a lot to going for them at the moment. So they really don't want this this head-to-head result on their profile in such a dominant fashion against them.
And you look at the money, and it's 40.
Wow.
It's 47k for Order for their guns, and it's 1k for Legacy. It's not looking good.
Nearly a full eco for Legacy, but an AK is salvaged from Alistair's body. Blitz has got one, but look at the damage that has been done to both Stat and Lonsdale. In fact, one of those was a wallbang with the AWP through doors down mid. What that one tap! Beautiful from Hats. Lonsdale goes down, and Hats on fire with 3! Can he get 4? Hats with 4 kills. That was absolutely insane. This man just demonstrating that Order cannot drop this game. And they're not even going to drop that round. Beautiful stuff, and Hats. Oh my.
Wow, just absolutely dominant fashion here from Order. They're not messing around at all, Dev, and they're going to have that buy on Legacy now, so they're going to have those big boy guns, as you said. But again, what can they do? Like, we've seen them with the big boy guns on so many occasions, and yet they've only got 1 round. Imagine we'll get the trade onto Blitz, as he previously took down Alistair. Stat pushing very aggressively into Cave, and Imagine will punish him for that. All up to Lons, Soju, and Sterling here. Hat's getting ready to chuck that. Lonsdale's going to know exactly where he's positioned now, but he is going to be forced to back off after that utility forces him out.
A lot of early aggression from Legacy, and it was read greatly by Order, and they managed to capitalize on it with 2 kills. You can see Legacy's still playing a little bit aggressive inside of the B site. We do have one player starting to get a little bit aggro, but no. Looks like a rotate might be coming out. Short is the crux of this push from Order. We've got 3 players there, including Bomb. Lonsdale just watching this rotate. He's preparing for it.
Indeed, we've got 2 in short. Possibly all of them, actually, as Liaz is not far behind Lonsdale. And Imagine getting in a bit of a fight here in mid. Lonsdale coming out on top of that one, but doesn't look good for the round, as Sicko will delete Sterling all up to Lonsdale with 48 HP here. You can see Imagine starting to rotate to that B site just to make sure that Lonsdale can't go for that flank, and Although I would probably say a save here. You may as well go for it, as he's not really in the best position to save anyway. Chances are he's going to get hunted down by a very hungry Sicko here. Sicko will actually miss his shot and get punished for it. That's the AWP down. It doesn't really matter when you've got 47k on the board, however, and you're this far ahead, but Lonsdale with 8 HP is 100% going to get found here.
He finds another kill though, but the refrag does come out. 4 versus 1, what you going to do? Doing a little bit of damage to the economy, but is that really impactful when, like you said, you have, what, 50k plus? Finally, some CZs coming out. A scout on Sterling. He really likes his snipers. 2 scouts, in fact. Soju bringing one as well. The FAMAS coming out.
Oh no, they've got 2 auto snipers.
Wow.
They're going to hit Stat as well, and Blitz, I think. We're seeing a Fnatic-like play here. I think it was Fnatic, or was it Nip that did the Fnatic? It was Fnatic that did the snipers down mid. I think they had five AWPs looking down mid, Dev. And, well, we can see that. And they've actually now swapped off the auto snipers because they've got the money to do that, especially on the last round.
Yeah, they can do whatever they like. They got money. They can they could buy an AK for everyone, and maybe they help. Alistair does finally go down, but 2 kills back for Order again. Sterling once again, the last man standing, and not standing for very long at all. That's the end of the half. Order take it 14-1. Is there really any contest?
Yeah, that's a question on everyone's mind, Dev. Wow, just Order. You've got to feel so sorry here for Legacy. They just can't get anything going, and looking at the scoreboard there, 21 kills for Hats, and Imagine not too far behind. When you look at Legacy's side, no one has managed to break that 10 kill barrier, if you will.
It's just not looking great for Legacy overall. Hats somehow managed to find an early kill onto Sterling. Soju as well with a refrag, however, and looks like a little bit of pressure from the T's going onto the B, and when I say a little bit, I mean bombs going down and all the players are there. But look at this push up through window. Order are ready for this and looking to retake. I feel like there's no way this round can go Legacy. Look at Soju's finding one, so maybe it's possible. Soju with another one. Maybe this is possible. Only 2 players left for Order, and Soju, he's on fire at the moment. Stat finds one onto Lonsdale, and only 1 player left. No. The knife's gonna come out. Oh, Soju, 12 kills. There you go, breaking that 10k barrier, like you mentioned. Is that what Legacy needs? I should dearly hope so.
Hopefully that's the start of something great, Dev. They need 12 rounds in a row here to even it up. So yeah, there's a long way to go here for Legacy.
Looks like Legacy are just going to be committing very quick and early aggression towards B. All their players, and Alistair finds one with the dig, but Blitz does get that refragged. However, Soju off the board. He's been the top fragger in this game for Legacy.
Plant being baited out there, just trying to see if anyone's going to rush through. We'll see exactly what Order are going to do here. They've only got pistols and they still want to go for it. Hats finds one, Imagine finds 2. No way this is possible. 3v2. Legacy have rifles, however, and both of them have been forced into these tunnels. This is not a good position for them to be in whatsoever. They're going to start to push out. Shots are connecting. Sterling finds 1. Sterling finds 2. 1v1. Imagine versus Stat. SMG versus AK. Health advantage is in favor of Stat, however, and Imagine here playing aggressive, not going for the plant. He is going to punish him out, however, and don't believe he'll have time to go for that plant. But I mean, come on, they took out every single member of Legacy with just pistols, and they save an AK for themselves.
If you don't call that a successful eco, I don't know really what you can. And in stark contrast, even when Legacy are winning, Order deals serious damage and manage to get something for themselves as well. We still have the AK in the hands of Imagine, and that's a player who's been doing so well so far. Looks like a boost short coming out from Order. And your favorite, the MP7 being brought out, Skye, from Lonsdale. Once again, a B rush. It's been working out for Legacy, so they're going to commit to it. Again, Blitz finds 1 kill. Lonsdale with the MP7 gets taken down by Imagine salvaged AK. Yeah, the long-range shot does find one as well, but Sterling punishes Hats coming up from the tunnels. There's a second one going to be pushing that angle as well. 3 versus 3. Bomb down.
Indeed. Will Order choose to go for it is the question, and they seem to want to do that. All of them are rallying. Liaz looks to back off, however, so is Imagine, so I think they are going to be retreating from this retake. And well, it's been an alright start for Legacy here. It certainly could have been worse. And well, they've gained now 3 rounds in this half. Every single round they've won. Sicko will find one, but will get taken down. And again, every time, however, Order are damaging Legacy's economy quite badly.
Yeah, and so to note there, Sicko found a kill with the MP7, and the Legacy's refrag was onto Liaz, who had only a pistol. Nothing to lose.
Indeed.
It's not so great for Legacy.
It's really
That
not.
said, still the spark of hope has been reignited. They came out of the first half only winning 1 single round on their CT. Now they haven't dropped one on their terrorist side. Actually has something to say about that. He's still got this AK. Finally gets punished, but frag's going out both ways. It's 2 for 2.
2 for 2 indeed, and Sterling's made his way into mid. He's looking towards the CT spawn here. Will he catch Hats off? He's going to connect a few shots. He's going to connect the rest, and Hats goes down with a 1-man advantage now for Legacy. It's probably one of the closer rounds we've seen here, and just hope for Legacy they can close it out. But Sicko does not like the idea of that, as he's going to take down Lonsdale. He's going to take down Sterling as well. Can he find Stat? Stat's coming up from long. Will he suspect him coming from this direction is the question. We've got Alistair alive as well, in case he does lose this gunfight.
Without any utility usage, it's going to be very difficult for Stat to push an AWPer inside of car, as well as having the backup on site. It is only an MP7, but Alistair can just be used for information to allow Sicko to follow up the kill. Incendiary grenade and a smoke still in the hands of Stat. What's he going to do? Is he just saving at the moment? He's got a lot of time to play with. Is he just trying to create some doubt from Order? Maybe he's going to be listening to see if there's any rotation?
Hard to say. I think he's just trying to hope that they get a little bit too aggressive and give him the kill, but instead Sicko will find his, I believe, 3rd kill of the round there. And, well, that'll give him the 3k with the AWP at the end.
Finally, we are thrust onto match point. It's been a long time coming here for Order to be having this opportunity presented to them. Legacy now staring down the barrel of the loss, and Order with the second map potentially about to go in their favor after a strong win on Cash and even more decisive lead so far here on Dust 2. Order very close to being sent to their spot in the Zowie eXTREMESLAND ANZ qualifiers at Melbourne Esports Open.
Indeed, and you can see Legacy playing a lot more aggressive here. Liaz is going to peek, finds one, Hats finds the other, Liaz finds another one. Will he find Stat as well? He will through the wall. Beautiful stuff from him. It's all up to Sterling to try and save Legacy's hopes here, or else they will be forced down to the loser bracket. He finds Liaz, he finds Hats, 3 to go. Will he be able to pull it off here? He's got 80 health, so his health isn't in the worst spot here, but come on, you've got to take down 3 hungry Order players here, and he doesn't have the bomb. He's not in the best position.
Sterling has found 2 kills so far. He still has a bit of utility in hand. 2 flashes. The damage being taken. He finds Alistair as well, a 3k, and this is where it gets dangerous territory for Order. None of the flashes do any damage, however. Sterling goes for it. The orb misses the shot. Sterling with a 4k. 1 kill to go, and Imagine prevents it. And there you have it. Just like that, Order win the second map in this best of 3. That is GG, well played. Order are going to be securing themselves a spot at the Melbourne Esports Open for the eXTREMESLAND closed qualifiers. And, well, what can you say to console Legacy after that? Devastating loss.
Got to give it to Legacy there. In the end, they almost managed to win that 1v5 clutch with 1 player away. So unfortunate, but yeah, just so dominant here on Dust. And again, this was Order's map as well, so you can tell that they're clearly quite practiced here, as I said, on Dust. And she said that's going to be Order guaranteeing themselves a spot at the MEO, the Melbourne Esports Open. Legacy they still have the chance to get to MEO. but they will be forced down into the loser bracket.
That's very true. So, I mean, just like that, Order really, really establishing their dominance, not just securing themselves a spot, but also really furthering their reputation. Previously in head-to-head results, we've had some close encounters between these two teams. As I've mentioned time and time again, there was an overtime on Cash just 2 months ago, and then more recently a more decisive win on Cash, but nothing quite as... I haven't seen anything as decisive as this win here on Dust 2. Order, that was Order all the way. There was no point where you really thought, all right, Legacy's going to win this map. Maybe Legacy's going to win this round. But even then, there was always a bit of doubt in there.
Indeed, and again, I think we'll plug it one more time, guys. If you want to come to MEO, if you want to make esports history here in Australia, click that little MEO box down below. And as I said before, tickets are selling quite fast. You want to get in soon, but yeah, that's about it. Wow, that was honestly quite the game. Again, Case was a little bit closer, but Dust was really just Order storming out with force, and yeah, unfortunate for Legacy, but hey, they're not out just yet. They will, as I said before, be placed down in the loser bracket.
Yeah, I mean, exciting stuff for Order. Going to be playing at the Melbourne Esports Open in the Margaret Court Arena. 7,500 people going to be seated there potentially. That's the capacity of the stadium. So going to be incredibly excited. And if you guys are coming along, please do come and watch the events. It's going to be incredibly exciting. And Order, having secured their spot at that event, they're going to be trying to secure their spots at the next step. Or it's always steps towards something bigger. And that's what Order have projected themselves towards.
Indeed, but that's going to be all from myself and Devmarta. Thank you for tuning in, and I think we have to give a very big shout out to you and me, who is the real trooper behind the scenes, running the shows, the production, the observing. He's done a really great job today, and obviously to Mitch as well, who does all the organizational stuff behind the scenes. They really are the real heroes of this production. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in to this semi-final. We will have another semi-final up later, which I believe we'll be seeing Order again. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Dev, who has been my co-host for today.
It's been a pleasure, Skye. Thank you for inviting me along. Cisco is a little bit of a stretch from Rainbow Six, but I really enjoyed casting it.
Indeed, and thank you everyone for coming out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Let's escape the gray and let the colors rain. Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality. 'Cause you and me are meant to be what they don't see. Never feeling wrong 'cause we don't belong. And getting high enough, we're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see?